So what I've done here now for the eyes and a little bit of the embroidery, we're going to start by cutting yourselves maybe like a 30cm piece of black yarn. And then we're coming here, so if this is round 10, 11, 12, 13, so here's round 14 right here. And I'm coming just where you can see, here's round 14, the entire round 14, and I'm coming right here. So this is like the intersection on this stitch, or on this stitch on the right side. So this white stitch before the multicolored stitch or half and half type thing, here's the white one. I'll come to the right corner of that. You can also pin this just to see where you want the location of the eyes. Pull your black yarn through, and then you're just going to, and then all you're going to do is pull this black yarn through just like that, and then you're going to continue working the hook through those stitch spaces. So that's the second time I've gone through that stitch space, and here's the third time, and here I can do the fourth time, and then I'm going to come over here and I'll direct this on the opposite side. There we go. So there's one of my eyes right there. Now I'm going to have the other eye just 2 stitch spaces apart on the left side this time, coming in at this stitch space, coming out, and we'll just repeat over the top 4 times as well. So we've done that once. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. And we'll do one more just to keep those eyes nice and even, and then I will come back out here. So there's my little cat eyes, and we are going to tie this together as we saw before in a double knot, cut and hide. I did have a lot of excess, but we will use the excess as well a little bit later. So cut this, and now we have a little piece of yarn, which this is all you'll need, and I want you to just take 1 strand of this 4-ply yarn away. Now, if you are using different type of plush yarn, I would just say use cotton yarn at this point, and you don't have to take away the extra fiber from your 4-ply. So we're going to weave this in our needle. My worst part of any type of sewing is trying to get the thread through the eye of the needle. I don't know why I always struggle with that. And then we're just going to do our little cat whiskers, so we can pull this in as well. Pull this little yarn knot inside. There we go. I use my hook to do that. And then I'm going to come anywhere, it doesn't matter where, and have my needle come on the side of that eye at the base. The side and base, and we're just going to come up 2 stitches horizontally and 1 up vertically. I could work in the same stitch space if I wanted to come back over here. 1, I could make another one over here, 3 across, and I'll do the exact same for the other side. So coming over here just like that, and I'll work 1 up, 2 stitches across, 1 up vertically, come in the same stitch space, work 3 stitches across, and you know what? We can make 3 whiskers coming down vertically as well, and I'll do the exact same for the other side. So coming over here, it just looks more like your cat whiskers. So coming over here, across 2 and down 1 this time. Now I've got to find where I finished, and I come and emerge my yarn tail here. We've got the whiskers now all done, and we are going to tie these 2 yarn tails together in a double knot, as you guys are aware. So we'll cut this at the top once you have made that double knot, and then just use your little needle or hook or whatever you have to kind of push it inside the head / body to hide. And there we go. There are the whiskers and the eyes of the cat. We just have the nose and the tail to go. All right, and just grab any type of pink yarn, or like a lighter pink yarn, baby pink, your actual pink. This one's a bright pink because it's all I could find. But we are just going to quickly crochet a little nose over here. So we are going to come in. Can you see where these eyes are? And you've got a little bit of a middle stitch space in between, and we're just going to work through this one and this one. You'll see. So coming in here, I'm going to go around this once. There's 1, and here's number 2. So I'm going to come up anywhere else. Now, if you wanted to as well, you can make a little line down here, but I'd want to do that with 1 ply of this yarn. So I'm going to just finish off there like that. And you really need a sharp needle in order to get in between that as well. I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. So here we go. We're going to cut this off. And before I push that inside, I'm just going to grab a little strand. So grab 1 ply from the 4-ply cotton yarn, weave it through your needle, and this should be either a sewing or a leather needle, hopefully something small that you can work through those stitches with. And then we're just going to come out kind of right at the center portion between those 2 stitches. Can you see I'm pretty much in the center there? So I don't want to come here. I don't want to come here. I've got to come right at the center, and that's why you want a sharp needle. Very important there. And we're just going to work downwards. And we had a decrease down here, so it should be relatively straight, which will be good. Now again, that part's optional. Do not need to do that if you don't want to. And you can see mine is reasonably straight if I just manipulated it a little bit there. So there we go. That's what we're looking like. We're going to tie these 2 ends together, cut and hide inside the body. I don't think I need to show you that, but here it is anyway. So we've got that. We've got the knots, double knot right there. Cut that and then pull this into the head. Both of them one, and you can kind of push and pull just to hide it in place like that. And there we go. There is the face. Now let's complete the tail before we start the cat beanie. All right, so grab yourself some white colored yarn at this point and leave yourselves about a 30 to 40, just a 30 centimeter tail will do. And then you're just going to make a slip knot, just like that. Now with this 30 centimeter tail, you're going to wrap it over the top of the hook and hold at the base here, and then pull the yarn, this yarn, through both of those loops. So there we go. And we are just going to repeat this over and over again. So that's twice that we've done it. Here's the 3rd time, 4th, and we'll just keep going until we feel like we've got a good tail. 5th, 6th, let's see how many we need, 7th, and it will be different for you as well. 8, 9, depending on your yarn tension and things like that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How are we looking? Maybe I'll do a little bit more. 15, 16, maybe 17 in total for me, just like that. And then I'm going to pull both of these yarn tails through the loop. You can do it one at a time, or you can do it together. It depends what you want to do there. I was trying to do 2 at a time, but it ended up being 1. And then we're just going to cut the yarn. Give yourselves your extra for this one, so whatever is left over, and then for this one you'll cut and leave yourselves about a good, let's say 10 to 15 centimeters. You won't need that much, but just to have a little bit of extra to be safe. All right, so there we go. There are our 2 yarn tails at the back here. We've got our cat tail over here, and we are now going to sew this to the back of the cat. All right, so turn your cat the other way around. Here's the tail that we are just going to kind of sew to the center point, the lower center point, as you can see here. And I'll just work in and out of a stitch space, 2 stitch spaces that are close to each other. So here's 1, and I'm just going to come through here to sew this in properly. I'll leave my other yarn tail over here just for the moment. Then I'm going to come back in that stitch space. Where was it? Over here, and then come out underneath. And I'll just keep weaving this in, back and forth, until I am happy that the tail is nice and secured. So I'm going to come up this side this time. So there's no real technique to this except just sew it in place. Like, that's it. So I'll come up here. So that, and then we'll maybe do 1 more over here just to support that foundation, and I'm going to come out over here. So there we go. There's 1. Now this one, you don't have to have this woven across the top. You can just push this straight in and come out over here, and then have these 2 yarn tails tied together in a double knot. So here we go. I'm going to push this through. All right, so we've push this through just like that, and then, as you guys have seen before many times now, we're just going to tie this in a double knot to secure, cut, and hide. And there we go. So that is the finished portion of the cat now, which if you wanted to just leave it here, feel free to. You can add a keychain right at the top here. You just add that keychain, or you can add a yarn chain by making a slip knot, chaining 60, coming back down and making a same slip knot over here. So if you wanted to leave it as is like this, then you're finished the cat. But now let's just make the cat beanie. May as well. Alright, so we're going to get started on this beanie now. So to make the cat beanie, we're going to start off by making, and you can adjust this how you need to depending on whether or not it fits around the circumference of the head. So last time I did 30 and it worked out well, but it was a tiny bit tight, so I might do 33. I'm going to chain 33 plus 1. 33 plus 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 plus 1. Now the plus 1 is because we always start in the second loop from the hook. Also, I apologize that you just had to watch me count all of those. But anyways, here we are. So you're going to start off by making very loose slip stitches in every single loops, of which there will be 33 in total. So to make it loose, kind of pull up first and then pull it through the loop on the hook. That's how you make your slip stitches a little bit more loose. So you pull up first and then you pull through. And you want to make sure these are loose enough because you need to get into them as we come back. So pull up, pull through. And you'll just repeat this entire thing for row number, we'll call this row number 1. So 33 loose slip stitches, as you can see, I'm doing it, and we'll come back at the end of row number 1. And there we go. So we've just finished all of those slip stitches right there. Now I'm at the end of my 33rd slip stitch. I'm chaining 1 and I'm turning this around. And now I'm going to work in both the front and the back loops, and I will be making single crochet stitches all the way across, of which there will be 33. So I've made 2 so far, and make sure you're always getting in the front and back loops of each stitch space. So 3, so on and so forth until you reach 33. Alright, so here I'm on my 33rd stitch, and before completing this, I'm not going to complete it with my mint green. Instead, I'm going to grab my white yarn and pull this through the 2 loops on the hook. And now, before I chain 1, what I want to do is have these 2 yarn tails over my working yarn, which is the white. Right? It had the white tail plus the mint green over the top of my working white, and then I chain 1. So what we are doing with the white colored yarn for row number 3 is we're going to make half double crochet stitches, which means you wrap the yarn first, and we'll make all of these half double crochet stitches in the back loops only of this round only. This is the only time where we're working in the back loops only. So make sure we do that. So there's 1 half double crochet stitch right there. Here comes the second one where I'll come in just the back loop, and I'll weave in these yarn tails as I go. So that's my second one. Here's number 3, etc., etc., all the way till you reach 33. Weaving this in all the way across. Mint will reach the end. This one you'll finish kind of over here, and then we'll cut later on. But half double crochet stitches in the back loops only. And row 3 is now complete with my 33rd half double crochet stitch. Now just before we chain 1, remember you want the mint green over the top of your working yarn, just like that, and then chain 1. And now we're going to switch to the other side. This time we're not working in the back loops, and we will also be working single crochet stitches the entire way across. So just single crochet stitches and work in that mint green yarn as you go. So 33 single crochet stitches, guys. And there we go, that's the 4th row. Now at the end of your 33rd stitch, you're going to change your yarn color to your mint green, pull that through those 2 loops on the hook. And then because now we're working with the mint green, we want the white yarn tail over the top of the mint green before you chain the 1. Then chain 1, turn your piece around, and from here we are going to weave in the white as we go. For the first time we weave in the white, we'll hold this backwards, so we're coming in here, weave in the white, work 1 single crochet stitch just like that, and then for the rest of them you can bring this to the front and start weaving it in. So 33 total single crochet stitches for this round, or for this row number 5. And we are at the end of round 5 now, where we will change our yarn color to our white, just like that. And then because we're now working with white, the mint green color is going across before we chain 1. So mint green goes across, pull it nice and tight, chain 1, turn your piece around and work in the mint green. First forward this way, work a half double crochet stitch first, just like that, and then bring this back and you can weave it in at the front. So again, you will have a total of 33 half double crochet stitches. Round 6 now complete. We're about to start round number 7. I'm just weaving this over the top before I chain 1, turn this around, and we're ready to complete row number 7 with single crochet stitches. So there's my first single crochet stitch, then I'll pull this backwards and we will start weaving this in this direction this time. 33 single crochet stitches in total. Row number 7 is now complete, changing our yarn color to mint green, just like this. We'll pull that through. Then we want the white yarn on top before we chain 1, just like that. Turn your piece around. We're ready to start row number 8 with just 33 single crochet stitches. Row number 8 now complete. Get your white colored yarn, pull through. The mint green will be over the top of that dominant yarn color, which is white currently, and then we'll chain 1, and this will be the last row, row number 9, where we will make half double crochet stitches all the way. And just weave in that yarn tail as you go. You can bring it forward so it kind of follows the direction of these stitches and easily be able to be woven in. So 33 half double crochet stitches in total, and then we will finish at the end of this row. And row number 9 is now complete. We're going to pull the yarn through and we are going to cut the yarn after you leave about 40-ish centimeters worth of yarn. Okay, so we'll pull that through. We've got a long yarn tail here that we're going to be using very soon. And then with this one, you can just cut it off. We won't need this one, so we can cut this off right at the edge there. Okay, we can also cut in this woven in piece as well, just like that. Now what we want to do is we've got, let's see, we've got this piece over here. This has to be the front, the lower front portion, because that's where the back loop is. And as we're sewing this, we need to sew it the opposite direction because we need to turn this inside out afterwards. So I'm going to fold it this way so that you don't see that exposed front loop. And then with my white yarn, we are going to, now let's see, we should, okay, so grab that white yarn tail, weave it through, and then we're just going to start right up here. So you can, it depends how you want to do this. You can work through both the front and back stitches or loops if you would like, or you can work one back and then the other one 2, or you can work 2 back loops here. I'm going to go through absolutely everything. So here is our first stitch space over here. I'm just going to work through all of that. Perfect. Now it's up to you whether you want to come back this way or whether you want to go across the top. I am going to go across the top, and I don't know what type of weaving this is, if it's a mattress stitch or whatnot, but in any case you can at least see how I'm doing it. So I'm coming over the top and then back through these 2 stitches as well, just like that. And we're just going to continue all the way now. There we go. Now, if you end up, we will probably end up with uneven amount of stitches, right? Because we did 33, but that's okay because this will still at least fold together well, and we can just work through one of those stitches twice if need be. So come here. We're just going to continue all through this until we get to the end. So guys, I'm going to let you be, and then we'll just come we'll come back when we're finished at this point here. And there we go. Here's my last one that I'm working through over here. Just like that. And you know what? That's kind of done. So all I need to do at this point is I'm going to work inside, come inside through that little top hole over here. Now I'm going to, for now, turn this the right way around, give it a little bit of a pull, and then I need to, technically this is the top way, right? So let's go back. Let's go back inside, because we want the inside to be the one that's covered. So we didn't even need to do that. I apologize. Okay, but what we do want to do is we're going to come back here somehow. So I'm going to weave this yarn through all of these little stitch spaces. As you can see, I'm kind of getting my my needle through all of that. And it's just so I can get all the way back to the top here. And you'll see why we're doing that in just a moment. So we've come all the way back, close this together, right? And then you can come back over here, weave through this. Don't pull super hard because you don't want to pull this, right? And then you're just going to weave down the side of your hat in the same way that we did before. Come through all of those spaces, right? So how many rows did we have? We had 9 rows, so there will be that many or just a bit more that you get through. So we're just working all the way down, and just be careful that you're getting here, 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 etc., etc., and in both stitch spaces as well. There we go, just got a couple more to go. Here's our final one over here. Just make sure you get right into it. Just like that. And then, in the same way, we're going to weave this through a couple. And when I say a couple, I mean like 4 or 5. Even more if you can. Weave this through. You don't have to pull super tight, but you're getting through some of these stitch spaces just so you can have the yarn tail woven in. You can sometimes go back the other way as well, just so it doesn't pull apart later on. I'll come back this way. You don't have to pull super tight like I'm saying. And there we go. So I'm going to chop this one now. There we go. And then we'll do the exact same for this mint green one. We're just going to weave up the side. Or in fact, we can weave across the bottom here first, just so we secure that together. So here we go. I'm coming through here, and I could even come back this way. Could even go back one more time just to make sure we're getting through both of those stitch spaces. And once we're happy that this part is secure, then we can just weave this yarn through some of these stitch spaces as well. And you can see I'm working this way, just like that, and we can weave it through a few more just to hide in place. And we're lucky that this is the inside, so we don't have to make it super, super neat, but at least secure. That's all we want, making this as secure as possible. Okay, so now that we've done all of that, we want to turn this the other way. So we've got the clean side. We've got our 2 little pointy ears at this point. Now, if it's super straight like this, it will start to curve inward as you place it on your little cat. So if I put it on top of his head now, look at this. absolutely adorable, and it just fits so snug and perfectly right there. And you just give this a little bit of a push so you can really see those cat ears. Now if your hat is too long or whatnot, you can roll this up a little bit. You probably won't need to at that point, but there we go. And that is the end of your cute little cat with a cat beanie. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more tutorial drops. Don't forget, guys, always do subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.